Okay, so this is Team Bliss, and instead of giving you a bunch of images to demonstrate the use cases, we figured we'd just make a video and record what our site's going to look like for the future. So I'm just going to walk you through each page. So this page is the main page for our GUI design. I know you've seen some before in our last meeting, but we've changed a little bit since then. Okay, so and this is the rehabilitation and treatment page. We haven't got much content for what's going in here now because we need to hear back from HPS as to what to put into these specific places, but this is kind of our idea for it. This is our education research page, kind of going with like the same sort of style as the rehabilitation and treatment. Our programs page, a little bit differently here. You can pick on different tabs. I've only modeled up one of them in case we decide to change this, but mainly it's going to look like this. They can put their pictures, upload their pictures once we get to the upload manager for images. They can switch them up in here depending on what page they're at and what carousel number they're in. And we figured like each program would have certain information about it, learning outcomes, and the location of it, because I don't think they're always going to be at their office, since they do have volleyball, and I doubt they play volleyball in their office. About us page. Yeah, this still needs to be finished, but we just put a bunch of stuff that they had from their About Us page here on this page just to hold it up. Got the contact page, their office hours. We put their French disclaimer in a little pop-up modal because there wasn't much to it, but here's where you can find that. The MSA, they said it was important to be easily findable, so we just put a link to it. We have any events pop-up, which we're now designing our own event system as opposed to using Google Calendar. So this is going to change, but this is where all the public will be able to see the events. We got our login page. User can log in here. That brings them to a dashboard, which we've given them ability to reorganize their dashboard. I can't save it yet, but they're going to be able to at some point. You can also get to some of the other manager pages here through the links. Okay, so the file manager page, it's going to look a little bit like this. The user's going to enter in a custom name for their file if they want to search it easier. Add some permissions to it. We haven't got the file group text box in there yet, but we will. And then they can upload multiple files of any type if they want, or they'll be able to search files through a system like this. Get the image manager. We're still contemplating whether we're going to even use this or not, or we're just going to use the file manager just to handle any type of file and then just search the files based on image type, or sorry, based on file type, as opposed to having a separate manager to do the same thing. We get a user manager where they can search their users, which will eventually pop up data at this like this when they were to search it, and they can at which point edit the user, delete the user. They can add new users in, which will send them like a confirmation email with a password that they can enter, and it'll prompt them to change password when they first sign into the system. Also got the Fitbit manager, which you've seen before. It's going to show your most recent step goal on the left, your most recent distance goal on the right. You're going to be able to create a new goal and whatever type of goal, which will then update this panel over here for the most recent goal. You can pick your dates and what your goal is, and it'll just do all the math for you. You're going to be able to remove all your goals with one click. If you say, I want to start fresh, let's remove them all. There's a little help menu to kind of tell them what each of the buttons do. And we're going to have a view all goals. This doesn't actually do anything yet, but it's going to be able to show them all their past goals from whenever they started tracking them. And then we got your graph to show you. Mainly it starts off with steps in 7 days, but you can go change it to 14 days, or can change it to distances, like 28 days. And this button here is what's going to sync the data from the Fitbit database to their database and upload it with the most recent information, so then their goals will be tracked better by doing so. You can just click the sync button and it'll do all that for you. Got an event manager page where they can create new events, determine who can see the events, pick the time and the date, put a little description in, and at which point they can pick on a certain event. They could either just modify it right through here and save it, or delete it right out, or do nothing, just cancel it out, and that'll work too. And we're thinking of putting this calendar inside here, and depending on if the user is authorized or not, they are going to be able to see certain events based on their role. Also included a slideshow manager, which it's still in the works here, but you're going to be able to pick a page that you want the images on, and then pick the specific slideshow that page is on, and select a number of them to go in that slideshow. And we just throw a bunch of thumbnails up to show you kind of all the images that are in the database. We're going to limit them by like a certain, like maybe 5 rows of images, so it doesn't have to load up like hundreds of at a time, because it'll take really long. But that's the idea there. We haven't done anything for the budget manager page, but we think we'll have time to include it, so we were going to go with that as well. But other than that, we're going to be able to give them, we haven't done this yet either, we're going to make them so they can change their certain user settings. So if they want to, change their name, maybe they got married, now they got to change their last name, or change their email address and whatnot, they can do it all through there. We're also going to have a notifications pop out that will let everybody know if there's meetings upcoming for certain events and whatnot. And then you just got your standard logout button. And that's pretty much it for this. And we've also made it go mobile too, so you'll get your typical hamburger menu and everything's going to stack properly. And then we got all your footer information down here. Yeah, other than that, so yeah, we decided to go with the video for this instead of the images, so hopefully this is acceptable and for use cases and what you wanted to see. But yeah, alright, thanks for watching.